I'm Kumar Rakesh, and you're watching Global Governance News TV. Today, we're going to discuss the PM in Europe for 3 days tour, very hectic tour. And you'll believe or not, in 65 hours of his tour, 25 meetings and 8 world leaders and more than 50 global business leaders are going to meet. And Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi arrived in Berlin earlier today, and he already just discussed talks with the German Chancellor, uh, Mr. Scholz, and I'm just giving you the 3 days, 2 to 4. So today, 2nd May, 3 and 4, and the jam-packed schedule for Prime Minister Narendra Modi as he embarked the first visit abroad this year, 2022, and 3 days visits to Denmark, Germany, Denmark, and France. On May 2 will be 25 hectic engagements spanning around 65 hours, according to government sources. PM Narendra Modi will hold meetings bilateral as well as multilateral with 8 world leaders from the 7 countries, besides an interaction with 50 global business leaders, according to the agency PTI. He will also interact with thousands of members of Indian community already made in Germany. So this is already scheduled. I'm just giving brief before you. And this visit comes backdrop of Ukraine crisis, which is united much of Europe against Russia. Prime Minister Modi just today spent Germany, and next day Denmark, 2 nights in flight. So we can understand. In Paris, Modi will talks the French President Emmanuel Macron, who was re-elected for the top post in a fiercely fought presidential election. And he just reached today, I think 9:30 a.m. the India time, and already meet the 12:45 the guard of honor and bilateral talks. And I have already showed that a joint statement of the both country. And in 2021, India and Germany commemorated 70 years of establishment of diplomatic relation and have been strategic partners since 2000. This visit will be the opportunity to enhance the intensify cooperation in the broad range of areas and for the two governments to exchange views on regional and global matters of mutual interest. Prime Minister will thereafter travel to Copenhagen on an official visit on invitation of the Prime Minister of Denmark, Mr. M. Fredrik Christian. He also participated in the second India Nordic Summit hosted by Denmark. In this summit, there's a premier from the Iceland, Sweden, Finland, all will be there. And the in bilateral component of visit include talks of the PM Fredriksson as well the audience with Her Majesty Queen Margaret II. The Green Strategic Partnership was the first kind of arrangement between India and Denmark. This visit will provide both sides an opportunity to review its progress as well as examine ways to further expand our multifaceted cooperation. During the visit, Prime Minister attended the India-Denmark Business Forum and also members of the Indian diaspora. During the second India Nordic Summit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will interact with the other Nordic leaders. Prime Minister Karin Jakobsdottir of the Iceland, PM Jonas Gahr Store of Norway, Prime Minister Magdalena Andersson of Sweden, and Prime Minister Sanna Marin in Finland. The summit will focus on subjects like post-pandemic economic recovery, climate change, innovation and technology, renewable energy, and evolving the global security scenario in India and Nordic cooperation in the Arctic region. The first, as you know, the India Nordic Summit took place in 2018 in Stockholm. And as he say, no one needs to be victorious in the Russia-Ukraine talks. Well, way forward, PM Modi advocates for peace in the Berlin. So I saw the how just welcome by the Indian family in Berlin. So just to see the some footage from there, and you see how he interacted with the children of the Indian family. Just to show the some clips. Sanya Mishra. the little children have made a good painting, sketch of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
बेटे आपका
And
साइड का
the
गाना
kids
है
were
बेटा
like
आप बहुत
anything,
साउंड कर
took photographs with him, with her, with the family, and also given the photograph. I think that is a memorable, incredible, and the bold reminiscences of her life with a signed autograph with Narendra Modi and write the Vande Mataram. So she was so thrilled to see it and so happy also. And one of the children just sang the song about the Bharat Mata, this country, and how just Modi is doing, and Modi has done for the country.
ले लो
So just see how the Prime Minister involve himself, engage himself, and enjoying every moment of the children, this child.
वाह
This
बढ़िया
is a footage from Germany, and just uh, with the joint statement how he made, and I also the footage of joint statement. But before that, I just how the discussion was there. So uh, the Prime Minister Modi said the no winning party, Russia, Ukraine also suggested, whereas everyone will lose, adding the peace and talks between the countries are the only way to resolve the conflict. Prime Minister Narendra Modi remarked during a meeting with the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz in Berlin, in which the two leaders discussed key areas of bilateral cooperation under the overall strategic partnership, as well as the regional and global developments. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said India has provided humanitarian help to Ukraine and called for peaceful relations between the two countries. Recent geopolitical incidents have shown the world peace and stability are in a critical condition and revealed how all countries are
अपने
interconnected.
ग्लास को
We had said that
अपने
talks are only way to solve the Ukraine crisis. We believe that
कर
no one will be the
विश्व को ये
victorious party in
दर्शाया
this
है
war.
सस्टेनेबल
And
ग्रोथ
just you
एक
see the
आर्टिक
video, the Hindi statement between the two countries.
इस नई
Please watch this video.
जर्मनी ने 2030 तक 10 बिलियन यूरो की अतिरिक्त सहायता से भारत के ग्रीन ट्रांसपोर्ट करना है। इसके मैं जर्मनी और सोर्स को धन्यवाद देता हूं। हमारे कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री स्ट्रेंथ को देखते हुए हमने एक ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन टास्क फोर्स भी बनाने का निर्णय लिया है। दोनों देशों में ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को बढ़ाने के लिए में यह बहुत उपयोगी रहेगा। भारत और जर्मनी दोनों को ही अन्य देशों में डेवलपमेंट कोऑपरेशन का लंबा अनुभव है। आज हमने अपने अनुभवों को जोड़कर त्रिपक्षीय कोऑपरेशन के जरिए तीसरे देशों में संयुक्त परियोजनाओं पर कार्य करने का भी निर्णय लिया है। हमारे यह सहयोग विकासशील विश्व के लिए पारदर्शी और सस्टेनेबल विकास परियोजनाओं का विकल्प प्रदान करेगा। फ्रेंड्स, पोस्ट कोविड काल में भारत अन्य बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्थाओं के मुकाबले सबसे तेज ग्रोथ देख रहा है। हमें विश्वास है कि भारत वैश्विक रिकवरी का महत्वपूर्ण स्तंभ बनेगा। हाल ही में हमने बहुत कम समय में यूएई तथा ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ व्यापार समझौतों पर हस्ताक्षर किए। ईयू के साथ भी हम एफटीए वार्ताओं में शीघ्र प्रगति के लिए प्रतिबद्ध हैं। भारत के कुशल कामगारों और प्रोफेशनल से कई देशों की अर्थव्यवस्थाओं को लाभ मिला है। मुझे विश्वास है कि भारत और जर्मनी के बीच हो रहे कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव माइग्रेशन एंड मोबिलिटी पार्टनरशिप एग्रीमेंट से दोनों देशों के बीच आवाजाही सुगम बनेगी। मैं फिर एक बार आज की समिट के लिए, आपके इनिशिएटिव के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं।
Just you heard the joint statement and how our Prime Minister stated about the bilateral relation from the two countries. So, according to the release by the Minister of External Affairs, Government of India, that is the 56 points of the joint statements, and very detailed. And who attended the meeting, I'll just going to tell you the both sides from our India sides. The discussion on the topics of foreign affairs and security, economic, financial policies, scientific and social exchange, climate, environment, sustainable development, and energy. And participating ministers official from both sides presented brief reports on their meetings on the different tracks of the IGC, India, Germany, intergovernmental consultation. That's a group. And our from the finance minister from our side, from Bharat side, Srimati Nirmala Sitaraman, external affairs minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, uh, Minister of State, Independent Charge, Science, Technology and Earth Sciences, Dr. Jitendra Singh, and Secretary, Department of Industrial Training, Sri Anurag Jain, made presentation from the both sides. And the plenary session concluded with the signing of the Prime Minister and Chancellor's roles, the joint declaration of intent (JDI), establishing the Green and Sustainable Development Partnership. The partnership envisages a whole of government approach to India-Germany cooperation on SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, and climate action. And the Germany has agreed to make an advance commitment to 10 billion euro of new and additional development assistance until 2030. That is, as you know, the 2030 is the final year of the SDG adopted by the United Nation in 2015. On that day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also participated in that meeting of UNGA. I also just covered and how just he delivered the speech, all just greeted by the all countries, and thanks and a grand welcome by Prime Minister that time. So the JDI would also create a ministerial mechanism within framework of IGC to provide high-level coordination and political direction of partnership. And the IGC joint statement, as I told you, 56 points, and the main points, the shared values and regional and multilateral interest is for the scientific reason, for the energy, for the navigation, for international law, and for the study cooperation with India and EU, and the regional organization Way of Bengal initiative for the multi-sectoral technical and economic cooperation, BIMSTEC, and close cooperation between G7 and India during the current German G7 presidency, including just the energy transition. And they agreed to establish under Germany's G7 presidency and with other governments dialogue to jointly work on just energy transition pathways to address the opportunity challenges on the climate compatible energies policies, rapid deployment of renewable and access to sustainable energy. They can also include mitigation oriented adaptation to climate change, particularly energy sector. And also expressed Germany and India concern about the ongoing humanitarian crisis in Ukraine. As I told you, our Bharat stand is very clear. We need the peace. We just think this whatever civilian death is already condemned. They are in need of the immediate cessation of the hostilities. They emphasize the contemporary global order has been built in the UN Charter, international law, and respect for the sovereignty and territorial integrity of states. They discuss the destabilizing the effect of the conflict in Ukraine and its border, regional, and global implication. Both sides agreed to remain closely engaged on the issue. On Afghanistan, both sides serious concern on humanitarian situation, resurgence of violence, include target terrorist attacks, systematic violence of human rights and fundamental freedoms, and also UNSC resolution. And we're just upholding the international standard of anti-money laundering and combating the financing of the terrorism by the all countries, including FATF. And both governments expressed support for continued negotiation, restoration, and full implementation of joint comprehensive plan of action, and a partnership of the green and sustainable development, the detailed discussion on the SDGs and all, and also both sides agreed to create a bilateral ministerial mechanism within the framework of the intergovernmental consultation will prove the high-level political direction of partnership. Both sides will work towards identifying the deliverable of the priority areas of energy transition, renewable energy, sustainable urban development, green mobility, circular economy, climate action, inter area on the mitigation, resilience and adaptation, agroecological transformation, conservation, and sustainable use of biodiversity, environment protection, and sustainable use of natural resources, and take stock of progress on the objectives of part on regular basis. And uh, deliverables are developed on the Indo-German hydrogen roadmap based on input of Indo-German Green Hydrogen Task Forces supported by Indo-German Energy Forum and agroecology and sustainable movement of natural resources also discusses, and the further examine collaboration of green energy corridors, the Leh Haryana transmission line and project of the carbon neutral Ladakh, and so many triangular cooperation on the individual experiences, and Indo-German Energy Forum launched in 2006 and flagship cooperation program initiated under this partnership, and COP15 CBD and green urban mobility, uh, and Niti Aayog and BMJ collaboration developing the country's first SDG urban index and dashboard 2021-22 aimed at the strengthening SDG localization at the city level, and both sides continue the regular meeting or joined into German working group for SDG, and also the smart city online symposium 2022 with both sides express willingness to develop cooperation activities field of food safety based on existing cooperation agreement. MOU also signed between German Agri-Business Alliance and Agriculture Skill Council of India in establishment of Indo-German Center of Excellence in Agriculture, aimed to promote the practical skill development that is a very favorite subject of our Prime Minister in agriculture in India by bridging gaps and upgrading skills of farmers and wage workers. International Solar Alliance, also the discussion and the part of trade, investment, and digital transformation. So detailed, you can say the detailed discussion on the all overall the development for the both countries, and also welcome ratification of International Labour Organization Convention 138 182 by India in 2007. Both sides underlined the importance of fighting child and forced labor in line with the SDG 8.7, and they intend to strengthen their cooperation in these areas. Both sides acknowledge the importance of digital transformation, and in field of taxation, both sides welcome the agreement of the two-pillar solution reached the OECD inclusive framework, and the field of bilateral trade and investment, readiness to continue successful format of Indo-German fast-track mechanism, and they both sides reform the readiness to continue the promote bilateral economic relation by implementing the training program for corporate managers, and expertise. India applies the expertise, the technical expertise of German companies in the railway sector, and also express the appreciation into German working group for the global project quality infrastructure. Both governments express the wish to further strengthen the startup cooperation and its context. Appreciate the ongoing cooperation between Startup India and German accelerator partners of political and academic exchange, scientific cooperation, mobility in workforce and people. So we can understand how the detail sort just how the importance of time. Our Prime Minister just did the great work for the country. Each and every how for this for joint agreement, how time has been taken from each and every aspect of the development, political exchange, education exchange, to strengthen the states, the country. So very, very important. And for the global health also they talked about, and how the welcome the collaboration National Center for Disease Control and CDC of India and the Robert Koch Institute RKI in Germany provided the technical support by establishment of biosafety level 4 laboratory BSL4 in Banda UP, and testing the highly pathogenic organism. So we can say in all affairs. So this is very detailed. I think joint statement from the both sides, and if we who signed the whom the so virtual signing in Indo-German Green Hydro Task Force by RK Singh. He was not then the and Robert Havoc, and the JDI in agro-technology, Naren Singh Tomar. He was not accompanying with the Federal Economic Swelja Sulj, and JDI in the Forest Land Escape Restoration by Bhupender Jadhav, and Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change by Stevik Lemke, Federal Minister for Environment and Nature Conservation, Germany, and other agreements at the leaders level, JDI, Green and Sustainable Development by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the all Seoul Chancellor, German side, and other agreement, JDI in the implementation of Triangular Development Cooperation Project in third countries by Dr. Ajay Shankar, agreement signed, and the Swenja Seoul Federal Minister of Economic Cooperation and Development, and JDI no establishment and agreement on the exchange and mutual protection of classified information, and establishment on agreement to establish a direct encrypted connection between MEA and German Foreign Office by Dr. Ajay Shankar and Annalena Baerbock, Foreign Minister, and Indo-German Development Cooperation regarding renewable energy partnership, Dr. Ajay Shankar and Minister Svenja Schul, the Federal Minister of Economic Cooperation and Development, joint declaration initiating an agreement on the comprehensive migration and mobility partnership, Sri Vinay Quatra, Foreign Secretary, and Mahmoud Oyster, Parliamentary Secretary, Ministry of Interior in Germany, and JDI in continuation of the cooperation in the field of advanced training of corporate executives and junior executives from India, and Raghel Secretary, Department of Promotion of Industry and International Trade, and State Secretary Udo Philipp, Minister of Economic Affairs and Climate Action. So this is the all details about this Germany trip by the PM. He was so enthusiastic, and also banquet has been honored in the with the all Indian in Germany. So all Indian Premier already be there in Berlin, invited by the ambassador, Mr. P. Harish, with the India ambassador in Germany. He are also just busy just for the doing the best for the Indo-German trade, and Mr. P. Harish is a very enthusiastic and very old diplomat and had long experienced. So so thanks to all, thanks to our Prime Minister for this wonderful visit for the country. Thanks to Jaishankar, and thanks to Mr. P. Harish, who has done the good job just for make the visit successful. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.